Are you still writing large number of JavaScript code but don't want to do it anymore? Then my dear friends, this video is only for you. In this video, we will learn all about JavaScript code reduction. I will give you 15, no, 20, no, but more than 25 JavaScript shorthand techniques. Without further ado, let's start. Hello and namaste everyone, this is Jitsaru with Coding Design. Welcome to our channel. If you are new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Before starting this video, I just want to give some information about the tools that I am using in this video. For the code editor, I am using VS Code, and also I have installed Node.js in my system. So if I write this basic JavaScript code, and within my terminal, if I type node and the JavaScript file name, then you can see you'll be able to get the output within your terminal. But if you haven't installed Node.js, then within the same code editor, you can install the extension called Code Runner. With the help of this extension, you can just run the code. In order to run this JavaScript file, you can press that play icon, or you can use shortcut key Control Enter. Then you'll be able to get this output in your terminal as well. You may ask, like, why don't you run in the browser's console? You can do that, but it's not convenient. So let's take this terminal to the right side. Did you know that instead of declaring variables in multiple lines, you can just declare in a single line? But make sure that different variables, they must be separated by comma. In order to increase or decrease any number by 1, you can use increment and decrement operator. So how does it work? Instead of using this conventional expression, you can just use double plus or double minus just after your variable where you have stored your numeric value. It works in the same way. I just want to show you that you will get the same result. Similar to previous expression, there is another technique as well. What if you have declared two different variables and you want to perform different calculations? In that case, instead of giving this m is equal to m plus n, you can just write m plus is equal to n, and also other operators, they work in the same way. Talking about another shorthand, this approach is taken by mostly beginners. As you can see, I have declared their variable where I have stored the true as boolean value, and I'm taking the same variable for my if statement, and I'm again taking the help of that variable and comparing with our boolean value. So instead of doing this, you can just directly pass the variable and it works in the same way. And also, what if you want to give not equal to? In that case, instead of using this comparison, you can just keep exclamatory sign in front of your variable, then you'll be able to get the same result. Okay, I think now I need to give that console code in our else part. Did you know that you can convert anything into boolean? If you want to convert any value into boolean, then you can use double exclamatory sign. As you can see, you'll be able to get different result based on its value. In order to convert your string data type into number data type, instead of using number function or parseInt, parsefloat, you can just use plus operator in front of your string. Not only that, you can convert your boolean data type to number as well. If you want to get any power of number, then mostly we use power method that is provided by math object. So instead of that, you can just use double asterisk sign or star sign. You will get the same thing. So why would you use this complex technique? Similarly, if you want to get absolute value from your number, I mean when you are getting lots of decimal extra digits, at the time if you want to just get rid of all the extra decimal digits, instead of using that math.floor, you can use just double tilde symbol. Similarly, if you are working with lots of zero, I'm talking about millions, billions, trillions, you can just use shortcut way. How will you do that? So what you can do is that starting number, you can just give before the e, and the number of zeros that are given just after the e. This shorthand technique, I think it's pretty powerful. That is all about working with numbers. What if you want to convert anything into a string or in common language text? So instead of using that string function, you can take any specific value of any data type and you can just add with single quote or double quote, and it's as simple as that. Now let's talk about template literals. In the past, if you want to include your multiple variables along with your text, then it was really complicated. But now you can use backtick, and within backtick, if you want to include your variable, you just need to wrap your variable within double curly bracket. It's really convenient when you're working with multiple variables. And also if you're writing your text within multiple lines, if you want to give tabs, new lines, at that time it was really difficult to work with these strings. So now with the help of that same template literals, you can write as plain text and you're ready to go. If you want to get characters from any string, then instead of using that character at method, you can just use square bracket and you can give any index, number or position of character that you want to get. You can take this another complex expression where we are checking whether that string is present in our text or not. So instead of using that comparison operator, you can just use single tilde symbol. Same thing can be achieved with the help of regular expression as well. But we do use our regular expression when you are working with really complex short string patterns, and also it does have the shortcut way as well. In order to declare any regular expression, you can just use // so within that // we can give string that you want to source, and you can give their dot test, and within that you can give the whole string that you want to source from. And also there is another way. You can use includes method. You can take any text and you can give dot includes, and within that you can pass text that you want to source, and it will return the boolean value. Okay, when you are using array, instead of using that new array, we just use square bracket. I think this one is pretty common. When you are working with two different array, and if you want to combine those array, you could use dot concat method. So now instead of that, you can use spread operator. You can use just 3 dots. As you can see within the square bracket, if I give 3 dots and the same variable name where you have stored your different value within array, and now you are able to just create new array with combination of 2 array. In order to iterate any array, instead of using this complex for loop, there is another shortcut way. You can use for of loop. Within for loop, you can declare any specific variable name, and you can write of variable name or the array that you want to iterate. Mostly we give the plural form for our array in order to get each element or each item from array, or we just give singular form. And that is what the best practice is. Now let's talk about the objects. Suppose you have different variable and you want to store within object, and now your key as well as variable's value, if their name matches, then you can pass the single variable name. In order to access any properties from your object, you just write object.property name. So now instead of doing this, you can use object destructuring. Now you can just declare any variable within the curly bracket, and you can assign any object, and within that curly bracket, the variable name and also the object's key, they must match. I mean, you can access the properties of object and at the same time you are declaring the variable. I think this is really useful. If you are working with multiple objects, and if you want to combine those two objects, then you can use object.assign. So now instead of using this complex technique, now with the help of that 3 dots, which is the spread operator, you can combine both objects within single object. Now if you want to convert your object into array, then you just need to write object.entries, and within that method you can pass your object. Now with the help of this technique, you will be able to convert your object into array. What if you want to get just the values of array instead of that key as well as value? For that, again, you can just write object.values, and within that method you can pass the object. Now you will be able to get all the objects value within your array. Now let's talk about the ternary operator. This is also a really useful one. When you're just working with if-else condition, we can use ternary operator. First of all, you can just give condition. Along with that, you have to give their question mark. And if that condition is true, then you will give the expression that you want to perform. And for the else part, first of all, you need to give the colon. After that colon, you will give other expression. Similarly, if you are working with only if statement, then you can use technique called short circuiting. How does it work? First of all, you just need to give the condition, and along with that, if you give 2 ampersand, and now you want to give the expression that you want to perform. In the past, if you want to make sure that your variable contains at least any specific value, then we do have to write some complex code. So now there is another technique called default value. So now what you can do is that you can just declare any variable. If you just give any value, then we'll take. Otherwise, with the help of that double pipe, which also represents or, just after that, you can give any value, which is also known as default value. This is the case where you will give the default value for your variable in case if your user didn't provide any value. Okay, this is the simple function that returns hello message based on the username that is provided by user. Instead of writing this long code, now you can use arrow function. It's something like declaring variable, and you can assign, as you can see, our function takes argument, and you can give this equal to greater sign, and within the same line you can give the text as well as that name. In order to create some hyperlinks, you just need to write anchor tag. Within that, you need to pass href attribute and the link as well as the text that you want to display. So it's a bit complicated. So instead of that, you can just take the text that you want to display and you can write dot link, and within that method you can pass the link that you want to take your users to. And the one is immediately invoke function. It's not really common, but if you want to use in case, as you know, when you are declaring any function, you need to invoke it. But what if you want to create the function that will trigger itself? So for that, you just need to create function and hold that function within the parenthesis, and just outside of that, again, you need to give bracket. So that's it. I know I have missed some other shorthand techniques. So if you know other than these techniques, then let me know in the comment box. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did learn something, smash that like button. If you have any kind of queries, let me know in the comment box. Share this video if you think someone needs it. And also, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell icon. Remember, there is always more to learn, so keep learning.